Welcome everybody, I am Steve Jackson. I hope you're doing well out there. I'm going to be breaking down for you today Paradise City by Guns N' Roses, and I also wanted to say hey, thank you for supporting my channel, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. The first thing you should know about this song is that it's actually tuned to E flat, so every string is tuned a half step down. But for the purposes of this lesson, I'm going to just play the whole thing in standard tuning just to make it easier to play with. But if you go and try to play along with the original track, it's going to sound pretty weird. But let's get into it. The first thing we're going to do is play a G chord, and we're just going to strum down. Then what we're going to do is play the E string, and then B, and then G, and then E again. So like this. One more time. After that, we're going to go back to that G string, and then we're going to go E, B, G, and then B again. So G, E, B, G, B. So from the beginning, one more time. Next up, we're going to go to a C chord. We're actually going to start it open. So we're going to strum the D, G, and B strings open, and then we're going to hammer on the other notes. And then we're going to go and do something really similar to what we did on the G chord, but we're going to start on the B string, and then we're going to go E, B, G, E. So from the beginning of that C chord again, open, hammer on, and then second string, first, second, third, first. And then we're gonna go to the G string, and then E, B, G, B again. So that's really similar to what we did on the first chord. Let me do that whole C chord part again. One more time. Now from the beginning, so the G chord, first, second, third, first, third, first, second, third, first, C chord, hammer on, second, first, second, third, first, third string, first, second, third, first. Now we're going to do something again really similar to what we did on the C chord, but this time it's going to be an F chord. So basically we're just moving everything down one string. So we're right here, fourth string, third fret, and we're going to not play the first string at all. And what we're going to do is play these open, just like we did on the C chord, and then hammer on. So let me show you that. So open, hammer on, and then really similar pattern to what we did, but we're going second string, first, second, third, first. Now that one is a little shorter than the other chords because now we're going to switch right back to C. So we're going to do the same thing we did, open, and then the same pattern we did before also, just a little shorter. So it's going to be second string, first, second, third, first. So let's go back to the beginning here, this G chord. C chord, hammer on. F, C, and then G. So after we do that G, we're going to continue on with this pattern, but it's going to end a little differently. So let's look at that. So we're going to strum G, Then we're going first, second, third, and then first. So that's just like the beginning. But then there's this little part here. So that is open third string, and then hammer onto the second fret, and then second string open, and then really similar, we're going to go to the D string, open, hammer on second fret, and then third string open. So and then we go right back to strumming G again. And it just repeats from there. So that's really the whole section. Let's play the whole thing. All right, getting into the distorted electric guitar part, it's going to sound like this. So let's look at that. It's pretty simple. The first thing is a G chord, and we're going to strum everything other than the first string. So we're going to strum it once and count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then C5, so power chord on the A string, 3rd fret. Same thing, strum to count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So from the beginning. Now at the end of that, there's going to be 2 strums right before it switches to the next chord, which is F5. So on that C chord, again, it's going to go. Then it's going to do something really similar. You're going to hang on that, and then strum it 2 more times, and then back to C5. Same thing, we're going to let it go and then strum it twice, and then back to the first chord, G. So let's do that whole thing one more time. So G, C5, and then strum, strum, and then F, strum, strum, C. Now the reason we're all really here is to play Slash's guitar solo. So it sounds kind of like this at the beginning. So let's try that. So we're going to be on the D string, 12th fret. And we're going to hammer on to 14. And then G string, 12th fret. So 12, 14. And then 3rd string, 12, 12. Then back to the D string, we're going to go 14, 12. So from the beginning, then we're going to use our pinky, jump up here to the 15th fret of the B string. And then after that, we're going to go 3rd string, 14th fret, and bend it. Full step bend. So from the beginning here. And then we're going to do another one. So that was, right, a whole step bend, and then another. And then we're going to release it back to 14, and then 12. And then 14 on the D string. So one more time. So from the beginning now. The next thing it's going to do is just repeat that. And then next up, we're going 13th fret of the B string, another whole step bend, and then 2 of them actually, and then just 13 by itself. So, one more time. And then we're going back, doing something really similar to what we just did, which is this 14th fret on the G string, whole step bend, then release it back down to 14, and then 12, and then 14 on the D string. So rewinding a little bit here to 13, whole step bend, 2 of them, and then just 13, 3rd string, 14th fret, whole step bend, release, 12th fret. So from the beginning here now we got repeat, then 13th fret, and then one more thing, there's another whole step bend which is on the 3rd string, 14th fret. The next thing it's going to do in the solo is repeat what it did the first time with just a different ending. So let me show you that. So this is the same. Now this part is different. It's going to start the same. It's going to go to the 13th fret just like it did, whole step bend. So 2 of them. But then we're going to use our pinky and grab that 15 on the 1st string also, while you're still bending this note, and then back down, release it. One more time. Then we're going 12, and we're doing half step bends, and that's how it ends the solo. So the first little bit of the verse section sounds like this. So let's look at that. So the whole thing is on the E string. It's going to start on the 3rd fret, and then it's going to go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 again. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then after that, it's going to go 1, 3, 1, 3. So 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. And then we're going to go down to the 5th string and play the 1st fret. And a little bend there. So next up, we're going to do almost the same thing with a tiny difference at the end. So the first part is exactly the same. And then here, we're going 1, 3, 1, and instead of playing 3 again, we're going to go 3 on the 5th string, and then 1. So basically just replaced that 6th string 3 with a 5th string, and other than that, it's the same. So the next measure is exactly the same as the first one, so repeating it just like it did. So we're going 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. Now when the vocals enter, he mostly repeats that same riff, but with a couple little differences. So the first one being that most of this is just going to be palm muted, but it's going to sound like mostly the same. We're going to go 3, then 1, 2, 3, and then 3 again. So that's a difference right there. 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3 again. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 3, 1, 3. And then we're going to go 3rd fret on the 4th string and 3rd string, like that. So one more time. And then next part is almost exactly the same, but with a little different ending. So this part is the same though. 3rd fret, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1. Now we're going, so real similar to what we did, but we're going 5th fret, D string, 5th fret, G string, and then same strings, 3rd fret. So the next one is just like the first one we did with the mutes. So now here it changes up a little bit again. So it starts the same, 6th string, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3rd and 4th string, 3rd fret. It's gonna hold that, and then it does this little riff at the end. So that is 5th string, 3rd fret with a little bend, half step bend. And then 1st fret, and back to 3, and then 1. Now 6th string first, and then 3. When we get into the chorus section of the song, it's just the same chord progression that we did earlier. Let's recap that though. So it's a G chord, it's a C5, strum strum, F5, back to C, back to G. Just repeat that. That's the Take Me Down to the Paradise City chorus part. Now in the bridge section, there's this cool guitar part. Let's look at that. It sounds kind of like this. So let's break that down. So we're going to start off on the G string, 10th fret. We're going to hammer on to 11. And then we're going 1st string, 10. Then we're going G string, 12th fret. So and then we're going to pretty much repeat that. So we're going to go back to the 10th fret, hammer on again. So and then 1st string again, 10th fret. That's it. It does that twice. Now it's going to do exactly the same pattern as that, just we're going to move down 2 frets and repeat exactly the same thing. So we're starting on 8, hammer on to 9, and then 8 1st string, and then 10th fret 3rd string, and then we're just repeating that pattern.